Hello and welcome back to the garden.
Hello.
So since the events on October 7th, I've been wanting to make a video based on how all that and how I was feeling. Based on everything I've seen, and the goals of this channel obviously is not to be political, is not to take sides. It's really to help you and your personal growth, and I'm going to be totally transparent, to help me and my personal growth and share that journey with you, and hopefully it helps you. Those events between Hamas and Israel on October 7th was hard for me to watch, not only for the obvious, but it was difficult. And then everything that's gone on since then, even close to home, college campuses, in the cities, etc., it's all difficult to watch. A lot of the stuff going on here in the States is just so surprising that it's even happening here in the United States, where the freedom to be who you are, to be the religion that you are, to be the ethnicity that you are, to be whatever nationality your family comes from, is all okay here. That's what America was founded on. And to see people just spitting on it and forgetting that aspect of this country and what makes it so great is so very disheartening.
I don't understand what's happening, why it's all falling apart, and why I can't fix it.
So that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to make this video, and it'll be one of the reasons why I'll talk to you guys later about this garden here, when I planted it and why I planted it. And it was all very important to me to put a video together that can talk about the current events and potentially how gardening might be able to help you cope with some of the stuff that's going on today.
This is garden therapy.
I'm fine.
If you remember, earlier in October, we did a video on fear. And in that video on fear, we talked about several ways fear can manifest itself, where fear comes from for each individual. And, as an extension of fear, anxiety and stress, as fear is just a stronger form of anxiety, a stronger form of stress. So one of those areas where fear can come from was at the end of those, I think it was 4 or 5 areas, was that last one, which was environmental conditions. And by environmental conditions, we mean, it could be the news, things like climate change, fires in your area, whatever that is. And in this case, obviously it's current events with everything that's going on in the world, whether it's Russia and Ukraine, now we have Hamas and Israel. I wanted to talk about that, see how gardening potentially can help overcome that stress and anxiety that's associated with the chaos and tragedy in the news. Finding solace any way you can be challenging, but fear not, we are going to talk about one therapeutic way you can potentially handle some of that chaos and fear, and that's with the garden. First things first, let's acknowledge the weight of current events. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, and we're all in this together. Now let's talk a little bit about why gardening just may be the remedy we need, or at least can help soften some of the things that are surrounding us right now. And with the events of October 7th and all that's associated with it, the images, the stories, on both sides, wherever you stand on the situation, it's horrible, it's tragic, it is a classic no-win situation for anybody involved. And as a spectator, thousands of miles away from it, obviously you have no control, and that feeling of lack of control and that feeling of being out of control as just bad news keeps piling on top of each other, it's overwhelming, and it's daunting, and it's well, I guess the best way I can describe it is, I heard Rahm Emanuel was on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend podcast. I think he summed it up best. I'm feeling 600 different things all at once. Most of them are not good, and most of those feelings are not positive. They are still very powerful. Behind me is the fall garden. If you remember our planning video, I turned this bed this way instead of going side to side. So now it runs north and south instead of east and west. And I have all this beautiful lettuce in here, and I have some onions up front, and some garlic was recently planted in there as well that hasn't come up yet. So I planted all of this before I went on a trip. I was going away for about 4 days, and I didn't think the seedlings would be able to survive the 4 days. So I planted them a little bit early, that week of October 7th, earlier than normal, because of those events of October 7th. I needed something help me calm down, for lack of a better word, kind of regulate myself. And at least for a few hours, it was able to do that for me. By no means did this help me 100% with the things and the feelings I was going through. But again, it was at least 3-4 hours of peace and mindfulness, and the only thing that mattered was putting these guys in the ground and making sure I could have a nice, beautiful salad in a few weeks, which I was able to enjoy just this past weekend. So it was a wonderful salad, and I'm really excited and happy for this. So for me, gardening isn't just about growing plants, and I think hopefully that theme is clear in regards to this channel. It's why I decided to put it out there, because as much as I love growing food and enjoying this and even sharing it, it just does so much more for me than nourish my body. It nourishes my soul, my mind, my inner self is nourished by the garden, and it does a lot for me, and without it, I don't know how unbalanced maybe I might be. This little piece of dirt and the other pieces of dirt that I have, it helps me grow hope. It helps me grow positivity. It helps me be as resilient as I can, learning from what I do back here. The simple act of tending my garden and a simple act of tending your garden, it can provide a much needed break from the constant barrage of distressing news. Plus, there's something special about watching all this life bloom amidst adversity. So, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Explore how to set up your own healing garden, tailored to your space and your preferences and your needs. It can be a vibrant flower garden. It could be aromatic herbs, calming succulents. Your garden and the garden becomes a sanctuary for reflection and personal growth. So let's delve into the therapeutic aspects of gardening. Mindful gardening, meditative weeding, and the grounding of the ritual of connecting with the earth. These practices not only nurture your plants, but also nurture your well-being. So all that said, that's one of the reasons why I like to kind of share my gardening journey. You should share your gardening journey as well. Connect with your fellow gardeners. Create new fellow gardeners, either online or in your community. This whole network helps create support for turbulent times like we're in now. Swap tips, share successes, share your failures and your struggles, and find the strength in the collective green thumb community. As we navigate these turbulent times, or any turbulent times, remember that healing can be found right in your backyard. Cultivate resilience, sow seeds of hope, and let your garden be a testament to the strength of the human spirit. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and please share it with anyone who might need a little green garden therapy. So thanks for tuning in, happy gardening, and keep growing. I'll connect some other videos here that might also be helpful. Thanks.